Procrastination, it's just a bad habit. Yep, it's a dream killer. But here's the good news. We've got the antidote. Let's talk about it. Coming up in the lab. Welcome to Mornings in the Lab. This can't stop laughing. I don't know why I'm laughing right now. Where excuses go to die and your goals, yeah. They stop waiting for someday. You don't want to wait for tomorrow. No, you got to get your ass in a bit. Oops, sorry. Yeah, hey, listen, this is an R-rated show. I'm all off the script here. R-rated show. Get the kids out of the room. I'm going to drop some F-bombs probably throughout the day today. Producer Flynn, I know will for sure. Johnny might drop a ball joke, and Marty, you never know what Marty's going to say. But listen, I'm your host. I'm Keith Bilous. Over there is Marty. Over there is Johnny. Over there is Tina. And the guy pressing buttons, that's Jimmy. And we got a new guy just moving the knobs. Listen, I didn't call him a knob. No, I said he's moving the knobs. Felix is joining us as well here on the show. I love you, Felix. Good to have you on board, pal. Felix is helping us out on the back end as well. And today we're going to jump straight to the jugular. Man, where's the volume with all this? There you go. Today we're going to go straight for the jugular. Yeah, crushing procrastination every morning. And listen, this morning show was created. It was created to help you guys get your ass out of bed, not hit the snooze button, and not procrastinate. Yeah, AJ Zeglin's going to be here, the mental mind dude, talking about getting out of procrastination in the gym today. We're going to talk about procrastination. Adam House is joining us. Maya, we're all talking procrastination today because let's face it, how many times have you told yourself, yep, I'll just get to it later? Oh, yeah. And I know when you say that, it just makes Johnny cringe. You can just hear the soundbite. You can just hear what he's thinking when you say, I'll get to it later, only to find out later. Oh, yeah. Later never happens. It just never does happen. You just like, I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll just do it tomorrow. I'll just do it tomorrow. But you know what? Today is all about stopping that mental bullshit, the mental nonsense, that getting your morning back on track with Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. Like I said, I got my friends across the lab here, John, Marty, Christina, Jimmy, and so forth. And we've got a stacked show. So I'm all over with the script here. First, coming up, we're going to kick things off with the Morning Loop here in a few minutes. Then we're going to get to Adam House, of course, as well. AJ, Morning Loop Reloaded. We got a full show. But listen, Jimmy, I am going to pivot my attention over here, and I'm going to move my head over here. We're bringing the crew up on stage. It looks like you got everybody in black on black today. I'm in black on black, and Christina and Johnny and Marty, we're all on black. Jeez, man, Johnny's got the red hat. Marty's got the red headset on. I got the gray hat that says fit on it, and I can tell, Marty, Johnny's just chomping to say something here. Johnny?
What is the ball joke?
I figured there's something in the sack. Maybe you have some meat in the pocket next to the balls.
It's a sack joke, not a ball joke.
That makes sense.
That makes a little more sense because I put a lot of shit in a Ziploc sack. I'll give you that. So we can go many ways with that.
Hold on, guys. Hold on. We got to get in order here. Before we start these, you got to ask. You got to say good morning. You got to ask how people are doing before you just come out with ball and sack jokes. Keith, come on, Keith.
Good morning, Marty. How are you,
come on, man? I'm good. Thank you for asking. I'm good, man. Appreciate you. That's crazy, man.
Marty, good morning. How's your sack this morning, Marty? How's your Ziploc sack?
Whoa.
I'm talking about your Ziploc, brother.
Oh, okay, yeah. Ziplocs good. It's prepared for later.
That's a stupid.
Literally on my story this morning, I actually there's a little clip of me playing golf. I got a cigar in one hand and I got a burger in a bag on the other, and I'm literally smoking a cigar and eating a burger out of a bag.
I gotta look at this.
I'm waiting to tee up.
On your story, I gotta look at this right now. What is going on, John? Oh my God!
Describe to us give us some descriptive video there, Marty, on what's happening while you're doing that Milkman shake and WTF. This is a crazy morning show that you don't know what the hell you just stumbled into. Marty, what are you seeing, brother?
He literally has a burger in his hand.
Oh my God!
Is there carbs on that burger? Is there a bun?
There's no button.
No.
That's a Ziploc bag.
It's in a Ziploc sack. Burger and bag, baby.
Yeah. So Johnny's just invented the Ziploc burger. There's going to be a
I've
brand
been talking about Ziploc burger for weeks. That's what everybody keeps saying. What's it with? Meat in a bag, burger in a bag. All the chumps come on in the comments and ask that. Think that they're razzing me. This is my way of life. You can say whatever you want.
This is wild because personal brands, they always say get known and be known for one thing. You're going to become known as the dude that eats meat out of a Ziploc. It's fucking crazy.
I've been known for a lot of things. Add Ziploc to the meat in the Ziploc bag will just add it to the list.
So it's funny. I was having a chat with Richie last week about just doing some fun things offline. I said, hey, we should go on an adventure. We should go trek somewhere. And then I said, hey, maybe we'll invite Johnny. But I said, geez, but then we're going to have a horse to carry his food. Or we're going to have to bring the horse just for John to eat the horse along the way.
I wouldn't want to get stuck with John. We'd eat y'all first.
We'll take John with a cow, and along the way, the cow will just slowly disintegrate. By the time we get to the top of the mountain, we'll be carrying the cow down in packs in our Ziploc bags.
You guys, speaking of Rich, you guys got to check this out. I was talking to Keith. We were doing some work on the side, and we're going through this. He's showing me some cool stuff for the future we're working on. He's scrolling through different members of the show, and I see this fucking dude. And it's like Rico Suave. I'm like, oh, hold on, go back up. Because he was sharing his screen. Son of a bitch, it was Rich. He had the coolest fucking hairdo on the planet. Oh, man. I was like, Rich, you got to get that stuff back. Come on, man. If I could have hair, I said, Keith, get me a wig. Get me a wig like that. I'll wear it.
When Richie's on the show this week, we're gonna bring that picture up here, and we're gonna his
LinkedIn picture too.
It is awesome, man. It is awesome.
Oh man,
it's weighs them down though. Like when you're doing 100 milers, you don't want to worry about hair. You want to be like a swimmer.
Put a pin in there. Put a rubber band on it. Save the hair, baby.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So
Johnny, the hair expert.
That's it. What's going on?
Listen, if I could have some, I would take it. Listen, beggars can't be choosers.
That would be fun. Throwing a Rich Ingram wig on Anderson's head, that would be fantastic. And then having those two run together, I'm not just sure what happened to me. There we go. What's going on, Enzo? Good to see you there this morning. Milkman. If you don't know what the hell's going on, this is a morning show for men, the only morning show that helps men be accountable to their audacious goals. We help you get you to bed, not hit the snooze button, not procrastinate, and get yourself moving here this morning. So listen, procrastination is not just some little habit. No, it is where did my mouse go? There it is right over there. It's just a thief. What do you call procrastination, Johnny? What's your tool for it? What do you say about it?
I say procrastination is just like jerking off. You're only fucking yourself.
No, that wasn't
the one he was looking for.
Exactly
listen, you asked me to come with the big guns. I'm going to bring the big guns. You say, look, say what you would in front of the kindergartners. I might have had something different to say.
As Johnny would say, procrastination is progress in camouflage. It's a thief. It's stealing your time, your progress, and
perfection is procrastination and camouflage. Shit, you got to start off the question with the right word.
Come on, Keith.
Jesus.
Shit.
All over the place. I am so glad I worked really hard on this script, y'all. Great job. You're nailing it. Nailing it today.
That's why I'm loving it here, because it's awesome. And I'm telling you guys, this procrastination, it steals your time. I've danced with procrastination. I've just wrapped my arms around it, and I've told myself, just 5 more minutes. You lay there, you look at the snooze alarm, you're like, no, I'm going to procrastinate. I'm going to wait. I'll just do it at 1:15. I can wait for 10 more minutes, but 5 minutes turns into 5 hours. You know what happens, Marty? The day's gone. The truth.
That little voice inside their heads, that little voice is so fucking slick. That little son of a bitch could sell a blind man glasses. I swear
it's so true. And the idea of motivation, Johnny, it's a lie. Motivation's a lie. It's a lie. Yes. Action is what moves the needle, nation. Mornings, they're not about being perfect. No, mornings aren't perfect. Ask Flynn. True story. Yeah. They're about showing up before the excuses do. You got to get up, and what do, Marty? You got to get moving, creates momentum. So here's the real question. What bullshit excuse are you telling yourself today? What is it going to be? Like, what is it going to be? Are you going to sit back and say, fuck, I'm going to hit the snooze button 3 times, be 27 minutes behind the world? Like, really? Like, Johnny, help these folks out, man. What's the first thing they should do right now when the brain tries to hit the brakes? Right now, what should they be doing right now, Johnny?
The simple way to think about it is this. You're either going to have to do it now or do it later. So if you're trying to get somewhere in life, how the fuck is doing it later going to help you? You got to deal with the shit as it comes. But I think when it comes down to it, a person will realize once they actually take that step and they get rid of that procrastinate, the no excuse mindset, life is just a better place to live. And once you can't unsee it, you can't unring that bell. So take a deep breath, put your fucking phone in another room, like I've been saying from the jump. Don't hit the snooze, and just starting off the day without the snooze will put you on the right foot, and you'll have a much different experience for your day.
Marty, you got a client considering calling you right now, calling you, say, I want to start. Marty, I want to start next week. You're saying what to them right now?
You can have a week of getting fitter or a week of getting fatter. Make your choice.
Oh, I like that, because the next week, I like that, Marty, because the next week's inevitable, isn't it? The next week's going to happen. So what you're going to choose is going to be your path. Christina, when you hear that, what do you hear when you hear that?
It's so easy. And I think I hear what Jon said, which is that voice in your head is the most compelling, convincing little fucker that there is. And once you realize that it doesn't always have your best interest in mind, it's not always trying to get you towards your goals. It never does, to Jon's point. That's the game changer, because you can't listen to it. You really can't.
No.
Check this out. This is if people understand this, it makes it easier. See, our brains are not helping us. If we were living in the world thousands and thousands of years ago, yes, the brain was helping us because it helped us survive. It was trying to conserve energy because we didn't have enough to eat. In today's times, we got plenty to eat. We don't need to conserve energy. So that voice is designed to keep us from exerting ourselves in means of survival. So just remember, in today's world, our brains don't help us. They hurt us.
Yes. And if you're tired, you're going to battle your brain with procrastination. So get some sleep. And hey, Maya, I see you entering the studio in a second. Good to see you here, coming up in a moment. Bless and off topic. I like the shades. Thank you very much. They're actually wooden. And Treador style, you want to what? Oh, I don't know if you want to do that, but I know I'm going to do this. It's time to do this, Jimmy. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. That's right, Marty. Marty, come on. It's time to get real. Yeah, it's just time to get absolutely real in this moment. And here's what we're going to do. What did you say you were going to do yesterday? Hang on that for a moment. What did you say? Did you get it done? Or were you just fucking around? Were you way too gentle on yourself again? Look, the scoreboard just doesn't care about your feelings. No, the scoreboard doesn't care about them. The wins or losses, they're both going to pile up. You heard Marty. Next Monday is going to come. You can either be fit or you can be fat. What are you going to choose? So the question is, what are you building today as you're hearing my voice? Are you going to build a streak? Or are you building an excuse? Because the streak gets you results. The excuses get you nowhere. Procrastination's, I'm telling you, procrastination's cute until you realize that you're just running out of time. Next month's coming. Next week's coming. Next year's coming. Here's the truth. One small win this morning right now can change the whole motherfucking trajectory of your day. Oh, yeah. Boop, 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 boop. So what's your move before noon? You hear me right now? Morning show, the only morning show to get yourself going. What's your move? And no, scrolling Instagram doesn't count unless you're making some cash. So here's the thing. Do the thing that starts the streak. Do the thing that stacks that win. Build the habit, and it begins not tomorrow, not Monday, not November. No, it starts right now. It's your accountability check-in. Yep, that's what it is. All right, Jimmy, let's bring up the crew here. Bring up Marty. There's Maya.
Hi.
Hello, Maya. How are you?
What's up, Maya?
Okay, hi. Actually, like my heart is pumping. I think I'm having a heart attack.
Oh, so don't have a heart attack on us on the show. I haven't bought insurance yet. So I need you to hang tight on the heart attack because I don't have the insurance, the liability insurance. Nope, that's true story.
Okay, I've never done anything like this before. Okay, so I will be probably making some mistakes in my English, but I apologize. I'm Polish.
All right, well, we're gonna go easy on you here.
No jokes, Keith.
No jokes, Marty. No jokes.
No jokes.
We're heading into the center stage, and today
we're all lovers. We're all lovers, not fighters here.
Well, I got to tell you, especially Marty, since Johnny showed up, we're especially lovers now. We absolutely have lost all the fighting because we're just lovers every single day. We're like, nah, I don't want to fight. I want to love because I got John in my corner. But hey, listen, Maya, we're here for center stage, and today we're talking about how the best leaders smash procrastination before it drags them down. And you've been running your Polish translation business for 12 years. When AI hit your industry, you didn't just sit back and wait. You pivoted hard. Now you use SEO to help digital platforms blow up traffic and dominate the Polish market.
Okay, Keith, I see you're very aware of what's happening in the translation industry. Or you're reading my news, my LinkedIn. Okay. Oh, so many questions about procrastination. Like the first thing. Okay, so I would say I had procrastinated like for the first 10 years of my business activities. And I was like totally invisible, I would say. But the thing is, I had small children, so I didn't have much time like for social media and other stuff like newsletters, blogs, and all that stuff. And about other things, I'm in the localization like industry. I'm a translator, like Polish translator. And everything was great, actually. Not like before AI turned the whole industry upside down, I would say, probably other industries as well. And I had to look for something so as not to, I don't know, get involved in some exploitative, I would say, like practices that a lot of translation agencies right now like do, let's say. So I turned to SEO. And I took some courses, I got some mentors, and this year, and like at the very beginning of this year, because I was also like procrastinating, like posting on social media, and actually because I'm almost 40, that's nothing probably surprising for you because probably you're my age, or maybe the guy in the middle is a bit younger. Not sure.
Yeah.
So it felt very awkward, like for me to post on social media, like LinkedIn and do all that stuff. But I said to myself, okay, I need to start. So I started like in March this year. And it was like months of posting, trials and errors and all that stuff. And I don't have any big like community or audience, but actually even this small audience got me some results, I would say. And I also got some ideas what actually this small audience needs and what I can do for them. And like about SEO, there are a lot of courses, but I have extremely heavy theory. And when you start like watching them, and I don't know, 40 chapters, all that complicated stuff. So you actually watch the first 5 minutes of the very beginning, and then you put it on the shelf, and you think like, and you plan to come back to it like later. So I thought I would just do it differently because I was sorry.
That's okay. So one of the things we really find is helpful for our audience is just to keep the conversation going back and forth. So I'm gonna help you out on this on our show here this morning. We want to keep them short and fast and back and forth so we can have a good dialogue.
All right.
One of the questions that we like to ask every single guest here on our show is, what's your morning non-negotiable? How do you start your day? What's your morning routine look like? And maybe there isn't a routine, but what does your morning look like, Maya?
Okay, all right. I don't want to sound as all these like coaches that say, okay, I get up at 5 and then meditate and then have some, I don't know, low carbs and no breakfast and then like exercise and all that stuff. Okay, so I don't meditate. I don't exercise. I should maybe next year. I'll try. And then, but I started waking up at 5. And what actually helped me, that's also because I have children, and it's like the only time I can do anything. And I just think, focus without drama all the time.
So you get up at 5, and then what's the first thing that you do?
At 5, and I will give you a pro tip how to actually do it, because like last year I tried to do it, and I actually did it like for 2 weeks only, and then it was Christmas break, and then after Christmas break it was really hard to come back to it, and then several months passed, and then like my husband actually he gave me this tip or maybe idea, and he said, maybe let's keep our phones out of the bedroom. So we keep it.
Hold on. I got to interrupt you. Sorry. You said something that might have been the most important thing you just said. The last week, I got to bring Jon and Marty into this, Maya. I got to bring Jon and Marty into this. So I got to ask you to just pause for a second here, Maya.
All right.
Myself and Jon and Marty and Christina, we had a big conversation last week about men and women that bring the phone to the bedroom and they look at the phone when they're having sex. So Maya, I might have to put you on the spot here. I hope you're not one of those ladies, Maya. You have children. So clearly, you didn't use the phone for every moment with your husband. So I'm thinking, you found a few moments in the bedroom where you guys were able to put the phones aside. Johnny, come help me out, brother. Come help me out, Johnny.
All right.
My question is, I love the fact, Maya, I love the fact that you took the phones out of the bedroom, but what was the reason? Why did you take it out of the bedroom? What problem was the cell phone causing in the bedroom?
The reason wasn't like anything like sex related, to tell you. But the thing was that so I tried to wake up at 5, right? And it was like 5 a.m.
You did, or your husband woke you up at 5?
My husband?
Oh, is your husband waking you up at 5?
No,
was your husband waking you up?
I think she's trying to wake up at 5.
Oh, she was. I thought maybe her husband was waking up at 5 because the phones were put aside.
I wanted to wake up. Okay, sorry. I wanted to wake up.
Is this leading to a snooze, Maya? Were you getting the phones out of the bedroom because you guys were hitting the snooze button? Thank you. Exactly. Have I been preaching this forever? Come on now. For the love of Christ, it even works on the other side of the fucking planet, everyone. You see that? Jesus Christ. I'm talking universal law here, people. Listen closely. Come on. That's one of the things that I say, Maya. Take your phone, put it in another room, because when that son of a bitch goes off, you can't hit the snooze.
Yeah, I know. It was like snoozing for 2 hours and then...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we don't want that.
Yeah, but actually it works when you keep your phone, like not in your bedroom, but somewhere close, near your bedroom, like in a bathroom. And then you have to wake up to switch off the...
You got to go walk to go get that son of a bitch. And then you think, I'm already on my feet. Do I really want to feel like a piece of shit and go back and lay down? You think, no, I've got more sack than that today. I'm going to keep walking. I'm going to walk to the coffee machine. I'm going to walk wherever the fuck I need to go, but I'm not going to go get back in that warm bed because that's what the little voice inside me is telling me to do. And I know when I listen to that son of a bitch, at the end of the day, I'm fucking bummed out. So great job.
Jon, unless you want to get back into the warm bed and cuddle up to the partner.
That should have been done the night before.
Well,
and that's not helping your productivity, Keith.
That's it.
That's not helping your productivity.
That's supposed to be scheduled the day before. Mornings are for kicking ass.
I like that, Johnny, actually.
So hold on, Johnny. But kicking ass could start off with an unloading of the clip, Johnny.
When you empty the clip, you get a whole bunch of serotonin, which makes you want to go back, which makes you want to chill out. In the morning, you actually need a little cortisol to get things cranking. I
don't know, man. I might have to debate you on this a little bit. Not master debate.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
Sometimes I find mental clarity is helpful for me when I start the morning off with maybe emptying the clip. I can make decisions.
I've never, ever been the guy that says my way is for everyone. I'm just talking about how I do it. Sometimes there are times in the morning where I get going too hard and too fast, and I do need to settle it down. So I'll empty the clip. Sometimes by myself, or sometimes I'll go and find Terry because she doesn't get out of bed till 10 o'clock. So she's easy prey if I need.
I know for myself that's going to put me right back to sleep. So
that's what I'm talking about. I got to get really I got to be ultra wound up to empty the clip and stay the pace for the day.
Yeah, we're talking morning procrastination with Keith, Marty, Jon, and our guest Maya from Poland here. As we wrap up the segment, Maya, what's one thing that you're not going to procrastinate on today? One thing, Maya, you're going to say, you know what? I got a bunch of energy from the show. And I know your day is working towards like the middle afternoon and evening. But maybe there's something you woke up this morning, you put on your list, and you're like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to get to it yet. So I want you to think about one thing you haven't got done yet today. You're going to get done. You're going to commit to Keith, Marty, and Jon and Christina. And then you're going to come on the comments more and say, damn it, I got it done.
Okay, so I wouldn't procrastinate like a dinner for my family because Polish woman.
Oh.
Yeah, we usually cook dinner. So I would love to procrastinate them. Sometimes I do. We go to some, I don't know, restaurant, or we are just somewhere, I don't know, or a holiday. But like that today, I'll be cooking something soon.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So Maya, in closing up the segment here, Maya, how can business? You've been fun. How can Business Athlete Nation find you? How can they connect with you? Where can they find you? How can they learn about the translation, everything you're doing, Maya, over on LinkedIn, the internet? Tell Business Athlete Nation how we can connect with you.
You can connect with me on LinkedIn. You could connect with me on YouTube, but I'm not very active there yet. Actually, maybe I will start being active there. What else? You can join my newsletter, which is called Special SEO Steps. What else? I've actually created, like quite recently, I've created a group which is called From Invisible to Found. And this is a Discord group. And I actually talk with my little community, like maybe not talk, I just give them like some actionable SEO tips, this, I don't know, one-on-one Zoom calls. And this is actually all for free. Just I wanted to tell you, because it's kind of a pilot project and I want to just, I don't know, turn it into some different stuff, like maybe some digital product, whatever. But I just need feedback, like a lot of feedback. So that's why it's a kind of situation. Like they join, learn from me, and I get feedback from them.
Maya, thanks for hanging out with us today. Listen, I got to tell you, I've thoroughly enjoyed your support of the show, your support of me, your support of everything that we're doing over on LinkedIn and on the channel. You have been a great supporter, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm grateful you knocked on my door a number of months ago and you're like, hey, I'd love to be on the show. I've never been on a show before. I'm like, hey, come on the show. So we have a segment, the fun little segment. I love your energy. I love you just brought some energy and some fun here to the show today. So
great smile.
100%.
Appreciate you, Maya.
Yeah, you brought
some laughs to the show too.
Yeah, yes. We don't have any laughter on our show here. So, Maya, I hope you'll keep the energy flowing once we say goodbye over on LinkedIn, and you'll continue supporting us, and we'll continue going back and forth on the channel, and we'll see you again sometime.
Yeah, sure. It was great to see you. Actually, it was like the first show in my life that I've like taken part. So we'll see how it goes later on. Okay, so great, awesome. What should I click now? I'm not sure. Leave studio. Yes.
That's it. Leave studio, and we're gonna bring Marty up on stage. Maya, you have an awesome rest of your day, and listen.
Thank you, Maya.
Thank you, Maya.
Listen, Maya, whatever you're procrastinating on, I invite you to stop. You gotta feed those kids. Gotta feed the kids. All right, Maya joining us from Poland today. That was a lot of fun little segment there.
It was
Maya
very fun.
Joining us here today. Hey, coming around the corner is No Month. Remember, No's coming up. Don't procrastinate on it. But first, we got Marty. See Marty fit tip of the day. Marty.
Come on, man.
All right, let's get it. We got the fitness tip for today. And today we're going to talk about stiffness. Okay, how do you avoid it and how you should handle it? Some of these are things I've gone over on this show recently or within the past few weeks, but I'm Coach C Marty Fit, so I got to remind y'all, all right? So to prevent stiffness, you got to warm up, all right? You can start with circles, you can start with shoulder shrugs and other shoulder stretches, chest stretches to activate those upper body muscles, okay? Now, another thing, check your form when you're doing your lifts, all right? Avoid forward hunching. Keep your neck neutral, all right, similar to your spine, right? That has to be in line with whatever exercise you're doing. And also engage your core, right? Weak core is going to put strain on your neck, especially when you're sitting down all day. So you got to keep that core tight when you do your lifts. And if you want to relieve the stiffness, you got to stretch after the workout. So it's great to warm up, but it's getting cold out. You might be in DC area like me. You might be in Canada like Keith. It might be cold. I think it's cold in San Diego where Jon is. Wherever you are, it's starting to get colder out. So you got to make sure you stretch after, because you don't want to just walk out in the cold and sit down and get those tight hips, tight muscles. So make sure you stretch post-workout. And lastly, use heat, use massage. So you can get a heating pad, you can get a stretch appointment, a massage appointment, whatever you need to get someone to assist you. Take a warm shower, use a foam roller. Those are just a few things you can do to loosen those tight muscles. So, yes, get the workout in, but you got to do your recovery and you got to do your warm-ups as well. That's the fitness tip for today.
Tip of the day every single day at this time, 8:30 Eastern time. You know where to find him here on Mornings Alive with Keith and Friends. But now we have our friend coming up who's joining us here. I'm just pressing all the buttons right now. We got Adam House joining us. But before we do that, guys, we have Lauren saying, hey, I should have joined you guys for the last segment. Yeah, she could have helped out for the last segment. She probably could have maybe given you guys some. We'll leave that. That'll be a different conversation.
Huh?
I don't know.
Say what you're going to say, man.
Just maybe whatever happens. Sometimes Uncle Keith needs the clarity in the morning, guys. Just needs to make the decisions. Yeah. What's going on, Mr. Adam House?
What up, House?
What's up, fellas?
What's up, How are you, brother?
What's going on?
We're talking about how we start our days without procrastination, Adam. And sometimes you just got to empty the clip and get the day started, and without procrastinating and just moving through things. But today, Adam House, we're talking about focus. And Adam, what does focus mean to you? Is it about doing more, or is it just about shutting out the noise and locking in on what matters, Mr. House?
I can tell you this, okay? First of all, great to be here, fellas. We're changing the world one show at a time. You guys are hitting it every day.
Thank you.
And this is, I just get pumped up when I know that my audio and video work. So we're talking about focus. Like my ADD is all over the place. Stream this, open a browser. So I might be sweating right now, just making sure everything's good because I want to show up, guys. But
Paul Reedner for helping us get this sorted out, though, Adam, because Paul's done a good job getting this sorted out. So this is awesome.
Listen, every leader surrounds himself with great people, and Paul's amazing. Shows up every day, ready to grind, never complains. So when you find people like that, you don't want to lose them. But listen, focus it's difficult in today's world, right? I saw some research yesterday that people get 46 notifications a day. I'm telling you, since I've been sitting here for 25 minutes, I've had more than 46 notifications. I don't know where they got that statistic, but focus is something that you have to find time to do. And for me, the easiest time is in the morning. I can control my morning. I'm up early and I do some journaling, prayer time, hit the gym, and then just try to get at least 45 minutes of just focused work. Be creative, think about the strategy of the business, where we are, where we want to go. And if you have the discipline to block that time, it doesn't have to be hours and hours. You can't do it. And another statistic was every time you are interrupted, it takes you about 22 minutes to get fully focused again. I was blown away by that. So I don't think there's many people here that are really putting in an hour of focused work a day, 1 hour.
Yeah. Hey, Adam, we all have our distractions. I have mine. Johnny has his. Marty has his. What's the one hardest one for you personally, Adam House, to cut out?
Right now, unfortunately, it's social media, but it's a part of our job, right?
Yeah.
You got to be on LinkedIn. You want to respond to people quickly. I've tried to not have my email open during the day, but I like to be responsive to people. But when you are in that state, you're not necessarily giving your best all the time.
Yeah. What about you, Marty or John? Where do you guys come with this one?
I got a plan. Yeah, 100%. Social media. It was really, as I started to develop business on social media, I was like, holy shit, this thing has really got a hold of me. So what I did was simple. I told all my friends and family, look, don't communicate with me on social media. You got my number. You text me, you call me, because I don't follow anybody that I like. Friends that I don't follow. I only have my social media is business or somebody that's going to motivate me. So when I'm on social media, I'm locked in. I'm not seeing, oh shit, what's my niece doing? I'm fucked now.
Right.
So it was a matter of me deciding social media is business. And it's better for me because honestly, I have better relationships when I talk to my friends and family versus send them a fucking DM.
Yeah. What about you, Marty?
I say social media as well, but mine is a little different with the content I do. So people sending me videos to react to, like their suggestion videos for me to react to nonstop, all day, every day. And then I catch up with a lot of media. So whether that's politics, whether that's sports on social media, because I'm not just sitting down watching the news outlets or sitting down watching NBA or NFL very rarely. So I use it to keep up with that too, and that can get distracting as well. And then I say I'm 31, so I still have friends that like to do stuff. They always try to distract me with that, and I usually say no. But it's tempting sometimes because I work so hard. So it is tempting, that's probably it for me.
Yeah. Adam, you've been a ridiculously successful entrepreneur, business dude. I got to think that you have entered states of a flow state during your journeys. Talk about, maybe you haven't, but I'm going to assume that you have. You get in a room with Bill or your team and you guys just get to work. Do you have that attitude of a flow state, Adam? And what does that look like for you? And if you haven't, or have you seen somebody get in those states where you're like, wow, that dude just locked right in and he's coming up for air after two. Like you hear some great artists that get into a studio and they lock down for months at a time before they come out. Have you gone through that in your business journey, Adam?
My flow state, honestly, is in the gym. When I'm in there, I have my best ideas, best creativity. I'm by myself, listening to something motivational or inspirational. When I'm around other people, it's really tough for me to do focused work. I'm more of a visionary than a strategist. And I've just come to the conclusion on the difference between the two. Like I know where I want to go. But you mentioned Bill, he's a focused work guy. So if you can't get hours and hours of focused work or you're not able to do it, this is a part of leadership. Build a team, build guys that are complementary to you. So I can cast my vision. He goes into his flow state and then he's creating. So it's teamwork, right? Everyone has a different role on a team. Michael, right? He's very strategic on our team. He likes to push back a little bit because my vision does change at times and I'll cast a strategy and sometimes that change will take us off task. If you're not very focused, which most entrepreneurs are, right? The way to leverage and grow is to get great people around you. And one of the things that we do in the House of Bricks community for entrepreneurs is we have focused work groups. Like you can just work with people in the community. It doesn't have to be me. Find someone in the community. So surround yourself with people that can hold you accountable, even in that focused work.
Yeah. Adam, we're building a morning show for men, focusing on men getting their day started. One of the questions we're really trying to get our guests and lean into much more than ever is, what's a morning routine look like for a successful dude like yourself? How does Adam House not procrastinate? How does Adam House prevent the snooze button? Maybe there's days that you do because we're all human, but share with us your morning routine. Is it 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m.? Like, how do you start your day, brother? And how do you knock it out of the park? What are your non-negotiables? You might have shared this a few other times in the show, but let's lean into this right now, Adam. What's your day start? Like, when's the alarm go off for you, Adam?
The first thing I want to tell you is, number one, the alarm doesn't go off. Okay, I'm up. I'm programmed. So I wish I had to hit the snooze button at some point. So the second thing is, I want to dismantle a lot of this morning routine stuff in terms of the quantity of things that you do. Like when I started my first business, I was broke. Okay, I wasn't waking up and meditating for a half an hour and then sitting in the cold pool. And it's more about quality and consistency over quantity. So now it's a little different, right? I've got a nice gym membership, cold plunge, but wake up, journal, pray, hit the gym, and hit some focused work in the morning. And again, it has to be something you stick to. And there's science to support this as well. If you start a routine and aren't consistent, when you stop, typically you're going to be in a worse place than you were before you started. So it's about confidence, consistency, and quality. You focus on those three things, find what works for you.
Yes. Johnny, comments, Marty, comments for Adam before we...
Yeah, I think that the morning routine thing sometimes gets a little bit misunderstood. It's not about just doing stuff to do stuff. It's about finding what works for you, where you are in your life. Like I'm saying in the beginning, he was broke, man. He didn't have time. He didn't have the luxury of doing all this shit. Yeah. He just had to get up and bust his ass. That's the way I was too, man. I've been up early from the jump, and it was like, I just need to work 3 or 4 more hours than everybody else to get ahead. That's all I was doing. So for those of you that are leaning on the routine, maybe the routine means you're getting up and you're just getting a jump start of the world. That's your morning routine. Whatever it is you need to do where you are in your process is what you got to focus on.
Yeah.
what makes me curious, Adam, is where the light went on for you. And as you go through your chapters in light, where you're like, your chapters in life, like where the light went on for you when you're like, oh, I got to make this a non-negotiable, or I got to do this. Did you hit certain ages in your life where you're like, okay, shit, man, I just hit 40. I'm feeling a little older and my body's changing. And were there certain times where you had to create that awareness in your head that your morning routine had to change?
Fortunately, and I know everyone, but Keith will know this on the phone, when you're an athlete, no, I'm just kidding. I had to lead you with a parting.
That was good. That was good. That was good, dude. I didn't see that one coming, man. That was good. That was real good.
Gotta have fun here, but
I don't see it as great as bodybuilder as Jon Anderson knows.
No,
and AJ Zeglin knows.
But it translates. So I grew up, playing sports. I mean, you had to go in for basketball practice. You had to be in the gym, and that's why what you guys are doing here fits so well together. It's the business athlete, right? Business is a sport. It's a sport of entrepreneurship. And what I love is you're tying in holistically the business piece, the fitness, the mental. If you're trashed physically, there's no way you can perform at your full potential at your job. So this is solving a holistic problem.
Yes. Adam House, the CEO of House of Bricks, the greatest online community for entrepreneurs and men. As you're waking up, you're going, holy shit, I got to get myself sorted out. You might want to go talk to Adam House and the gang over at House of Bricks. Adam, where can they find you? I did a little bit, but where can they absolutely find you? And final words from you, Mr. House.
Yeah, easiest place is LinkedIn. Yes. You can't find me there. You're lost. And you can visit our website, houseofbricks.io. We're growing our community. It's great people. And thanks again for having me on the show, guys. It
is good people. I can vouch for that. I'm in the community with Adam. He's got a great team around him, Bill, Michael, and the whole gang there. So if you guys are looking for some business advice, could not encourage you enough to go check out the House of Bricks. And hey, if you don't want to walk up to Adam's door, come knock on my door and I'll make the introduction. Adam, have an awesome day, brother. We'll talk to you next week.
Have a good day, bro.
All right, fellas. Thank you.
All right.
No bricks today, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
No bricks.
Just gold bricks. Just gold bricks, baby.
There we go.
Baby. There we go.
That's it. Okay, guess what? Woo, baby. We got the mental dude. Yeah, what do you think of this one?
It sounds like what he came out to when he was wrestling. This is wrestling song.
That's it. All right, we got a lifestyle tip of the day.
It doesn't make a difference what you play. I'm going to kill it anyway.
Brand new song introducing the man, the myth, the legend, Jon Anderson, with the lifestyle tip of the day. I could have brought up the GOAT, but I don't have a new GOAT.
Cut me loose, baby. Cut me loose. Get the hell off my stage, brother. Come on. Come on. All right, check this out. You throw a turd, that turd is going to come back and get you. That's just the way it works. You're going to get what you give. It's universal law. It doesn't make a difference. We're talking about your relationships. You don't put the effort into your relationship is going to fall apart. You don't put the effort into your fitness, you're not going to be fit. You don't put the effort into your business, you're not going to have a successful business. You are going to get back what you give. You cannot escape this. When I discovered this, my whole world changed. For some reason, I didn't get it. For some reason, I thought that I could cheat the system. There is no cheating the universe. Just remember, if you want to have what other people want, you've got to be willing to do what other people won't. And the good news is, most people don't understand. You're going to get back what you give. Rock and roll.
That segment with Jon Anderson, I don't know what there is, man. That might have been one of the best ones you've done, Anderson. That was a doozy, brother. Woo, that was a doozy. All right.
Just straight off the cuff, baby. Straight off the cuff.
I love that. Speaking of, we got a doozy coming in here. Where's my buttons? I'm still working on getting my buttons better, but I'm going to use this one. Yeah. The mental dude, the mind fuel guy, AJ Zeglin, joining us.
What's up, AJ?
We're gonna kick some procrastination where it hurts, out of bed and into action. It's true. Yeah.
I like that.
Who wrote this shit, man? It's awesome. I love it. It's just freaking awesome, man. That's why I was giggling this morning. I looked at my words. I'm like, I love this, man. This is a good job. Zeglin, how are you, brother? You can tell there's some energy here because we can't procrastinate because I'm talking about procrastination today.
Right. No, yeah, I could feel the energy, man.
So,
Let's go, baby.
Let's get right into it. So the morning's technology along the way invented what they called was the snooze button. And typically they programmed it for 9 minutes. AJ, why is it so damn easy to procrastinate first thing in the morning? AJ Zeglin, psychotherapist, mental therapist, mind fuel guy, the guy who helps men achieve their greatest goals starting with their mind. Why does it happen, AJ?
It's so easy to hit that snooze button because we're not moving yet. The action is physical action activity is what keeps us moving. So the hardest part is during the day when we're just coming out of sleep. So number one tip I always give people, as soon as that alarm goes off, challenge yourself to get your feet on the floor as fast as possible.
Do you know what John
AJ, my tip, one of my first tips I brought to this show was put your phone in another room. So you got to travel to go get it. Because just like you said, that movement is going to help that momentum. It's going to give that feeling of, do I really want to get my sorry ass back in that bed? You got enough time to battle that silver tongue that lives in your head that's trying to tell you to get back in bed. So I love that, brother. That's good shit.
But AJ, you'd have to have a reason. And have to have a reason. I guess what I'm saying to you is that I'm cozy in bed. I'm comfortable in bed. I'll just get up and just start my day. What I'm thinking to myself is that somewhere in a man's journey, the light has to be on its way to coming on or on its way to wanting to be on to wake up and recognize that I got to get out of bed and get moving. Because we can tell everybody this is what you got to do. But it's like saying, stop eating shitty food if you want to feel better about yourself. Like somewhere in somebody's journey, AJ, there has to be their own purpose. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, I totally know what you're trying to say. And yeah, I think if you speak to a lot of men, feel that they're at their best when they have purpose and when they feel useful. Right?
Yes.
If we don't feel that we're useful to ourselves or to anyone else, or that we're making any sort of significant contribution to our life or the lives of other people, and we have no purpose, then that motivation to get started every day could be low, right? So we want to have an idea of the type of person we want to be. We want to have an idea of how we can contribute in what we feel is a meaningful way. And then again, right when we wake up, get your feet on the floor as fast as possible and then start fulfilling that purpose.
It's interesting because we had a segment last week with a fellow who lived a long time, longevity. And one of the first things he does is get out of bed and gets on his rebounder. And it's funny because Johnny, it's one of the first things that Johnny does. Johnny's at his second home right now. He doesn't have a rebounder, but John gets out of bed and jumps on his rebounder for 5 minutes.
Trampoline for anyone who doesn't know what a rebounder is. I never heard it called that. So I know somebody else never heard it called that.
Yeah. And even when you're just like bouncing up and down on the floor, it's still good for your lymph system because the lymph system is like it's like a hose with a bunch of one-way valves, and whatever you want to call that bouncing effect just keeps pushing that fluid through the lymph system, which is really healthy for us. And so when you do that daily, it's a really big part of health.
Yeah. Marty.
I was going to say push-ups give that similar effect too. I'll wake up in the morning, I'll do push-ups, and that gets me going too, gets me in a good mind state as well.
Yeah. I've always thought of waking up first thing in the morning doing stretching more so than doing a push-up or doing bouncing. I got to be honest, gentlemen, I've never thought about what that does to my nervous system. Me more so that I want to go do a stretch or touch my toes. I've never really gotten into an aggressive habit like bouncing or push-ups, maybe it's something I need to try, frankly.
Brother, I put it all together. So basically what I do is I'll start off I'll either bounce 30 or 50 times if I'm basically on a hard floor. Yeah. Then I'm going to basically go into a thoracic twist. Then I'm going to go into basically like a deep squat to open up my hips. Then I'm going to bounce down and hit a burpee, a couple of push-ups, explode, pop back to my feet. So I get it all in one.
Yeah. And keep in mind, Nation, Anderson does this all naked. And then he puts his shorts on for the show. So
you know what? I just wear my underpants because if my shit is jumping around, it hurts. I'm just being honest, Marty. That's one of the best ones. That's the best Marty look right there. You can't even come up yet. Look at that.
I know.
See, Marty's got the head back and the head forward. We just discovered the head forward is the big one.
Yeah, that was crazy, man. That was crazy.
So I'm just looking at the time here. AJ, I know you've trained a lot of awesome dudes. You've been a bodybuilder yourself. You've worked with a lot of athletes. Have you worked with guys on deep cheeks before, AJ?
On deep cheeks?
Yeah.
That's an inside joke. You got to tell them what deep cheeks are, Keith. He's sitting there going, what?
But
he's sitting there going,
but AJ's bodybuilder guy. AJ's been lifting weights his whole life. AJ's been lifting weights not as long as you, Johnny, but AJ's been around the gym for a while. So I'm just curious if AJ's been around this idea of deep cheeks.
He's probably got a set and he doesn't know it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking, you know what, AJ, you do. And that would be credit to some of the work you've done. John, you want to talk a little bit about
I'm curious now. I gotta know.
So basically, we had this segment on shit. What was it called, Keith? Where basically you fart and you slightly shit your pants. What's it called?
Sharting.
My mom used to call it a flotch. That's what I was told as a kid. You flotched your pants again, is what she would say. So basically, when you do enough lunges and enough squats, you get deep. When you shart, you basically, their deep cheeks will save your underwear. That's what the deep cheeks are for. So you actually save money on Tide. All those people out there that are, I'm really having trouble paying for my lifestyle, do more lunges, then you can buy less laundry detergent.
I've known AJ long enough that I wanted to get that reaction from AJ.
Oh man!
But realistically, it's being real. There's been a few times when I've been out in public when I've had a really good fucking shart. I let this fart go, and I'm like, God damn it! If that doesn't cool off here in about 3 seconds, I know I left something behind. And then I got to go in some fucking restaurant bathroom. The first thing I do is pull my pants down and see if my pants are okay. If my underwear are okay, I'm in the go. I now just got to do is clean myself up. So you see how valuable these deep cheeks can be, especially if you're on a fucking hot date. What are you going to do? Later in the night, we're getting down and you pull off a pair of underwear and got a big shit stain on them? That doesn't work. Deep cheeks will save you in so many different ways.
I'm telling you, man. That's what you learn in this show. You learn about deep cheeks, AJ.
So everybody get to lunging.
That's it. And we got James coming in with a comment here. I'm sure James is thinking about our conversation with deep cheeks right now. Purpose fuels passion, perhaps not the other way around. Movement, rebounder, not heard that either. AJ, pivoting our conversation back to, you've trained a lot of athletes. You've trained a lot of interesting people. I've seen the guys you've trained. What's the most extreme thing you've seen someone do to beat procrastination? Something so weird you were either, dude, that's either fucking genius or that's crazy. Can you think
sometimes they're the same. Sometimes genius and crazy are the same thing. This is a great question, man.
Yeah.
With all that, I can't wait to hear this, AJ. Yeah, let's have it.
Yeah, man, it is a great question. I wish I had a super exciting answer. I'm trying to think of one that might be really weird off the top of my head. I can honestly say I can't think of anything that. Okay, let me start that again. For working in the field of professional athletes and stuff, I haven't seen anything that's weird outside of that context. Some people from the general public might look at some of the commitment level of some of these guys and think that this seems weird, right?
Yeah.
So I guess it's all relative. But no, the guys that I work with, I can't think of anything really weird, but they all just build some form of structure in their own way.
Yeah.
So that structure exists even when they're not feeling like doing it, they're not motivated, or they're tired. The structure's already in place. So then it exists to make sure that you go through it and you follow through with your non-negotiables, even if your energy is high or low, or you're motivated or not motivated, right?
Yes.
So guys will have their own form of structure. I can't think of any super weird ones. There's some stuff riding the bike in the sauna and like stuff like that guys would do that really felt like helped lock them in. Some old school guys, but again, in the context of the sport that I worked in, no one really batted an eye on that idea, right? They were just like, oh yeah, he's riding the bike in the sauna again, or he's doing this or that. But there's people out there that probably think that's out there.
There you go. So AJ, one last thing before we say goodbye. Give Nation, in a minute or less, what's one simple thing they can do before bed tonight that's not going to screw themselves up for tomorrow morning?
Yeah, I would say try to stay away from your phone for at least an hour before you go to sleep.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good stuff, baby. Good stuff.
AJ Zeglin joining us here for Mind Fuel every single Tuesday and Thursday, giving you something to think about that starts in the mind.
I will say, so if you can, the most important thing, if we want to expand on that real quick, is just that you make a routine. Our bodies respond to routines, right? So if we have a routine that's 100% consistent from night to night, our body knows as soon as we enter this routine, we're getting ready to shut down, to go to bed, to relax, right? So is it impossible that your phone is part of that? No, it's not. But I would say for a general thing, most people aren't using it as part of a routine to shut down. They're not reading something that's interesting. They're not listening to an interesting podcast. They're scrolling through social media, consuming a bunch of negative stuff, going to bed thinking, why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? Or can you use it in a practical way? Probably, yeah. But I feel most people generally don't.
I have this is a whole other discussion for another day, because I think Marty and I probably very much see the same thing. I love my screen. Yeah. So I think that there's a ways to enable it to empower you, not necessarily to inhibit you. And I guess that's just part of
Well, now they have the glasses you can wear, so it doesn't actually fuck up your eyes, which makes it easier to fall asleep. I can't remember, like a blue light glasses or something like that.
Yeah.
And that, I know that's because that stimulation to the eyeball, that type of light is not actually conducive to falling asleep. So if you say, hey, this is part of my routine, I put these glasses on when I do my phone before I go to bed, that will help as well.
Yeah. Sorry. No, I don't want to keep this going for too long. I feel like we could go on for a long time about this, but yeah.
Yes. Maybe we'll have somebody on to talk about blue light glasses one day, because is it real, or is that just another industry that's coming out of the woodwork with the blue light glass industry?
Good point, brother. Good fucking point. I don't have a pair of those motherfuckers. I just put my phone down at 7 o'clock.
There you go. Keep it. I think, Age, have a great day, brother. Thanks for coming in today.
Appreciate you, AJ.
I got leg day today, so I'm gonna go save my underwear one rep at a time, man.
There we go.
Yeah, baby. Get those deep cheeks, baby. Right on, AJ.
Thanks,
all right, AJ Zeglin joining us here every single Tuesday and Thursday for Mind Fuel, talking the mental finesse of a business athlete. All right, time for the brand bite with Christina, Coach Flynn. Coach, what's in the play today there, Flinner?
Just another day of questioning my life decisions. Here we go. Here we go, friends. Now, listen, you're trying to shove your credibility down your audience's throat. Trust me, it doesn't work like that. You know it, and so does your audience. It's not going to happen with one post, one comment, one DM. Trust is built in reps, showing up day after day with the same energy. If you're rushing it, I promise you're trying to make people believe you all at once. They're not going to believe you at all. They can feel it. It's giving desperate, and they won't buy it. So stop forcing it. Show up with patience. Do it consistently. I know we love that word, but it's real, because every post is an interaction. It's a bigger piece of the picture that you're building. Yes, it really is that simple. I have entered my no fucks era brand bite into account. You will be one step closer to entering yours. You got this.
Christina Flynn, you know where it is. Oh, there's not that button. I'm going to get this button though going on here. Where is it? This one. Yes, that's the one, Jimmy. That's the one, Marty. That's the one, Johnny. Christina. You guys think I missed yesterday? I didn't miss yesterday. I think just maybe it wasn't as loud as it could have been. All right, so let me see here. I'm going to get myself back over here. Yes, Mike, most credentials are inflated. You are right. Mike McQuillan joining us here in the comments, all the way from Peru. I think he's got his headset fixed up. We'll get him back on the show here one day soon here. McQuillan. Hey, you're here with Keith, John, Marty, Christina Flynn. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and friends. We're in the second hour here. Morning Loop Reloaded, resetting the show. The first hour, we had Adam House joining us, talking about focus. We had Maya talking about a lot of good stuff with Maya. Procrastination. We talked about, well, just the things we do to keep ourselves from having fun. We had AJ come in and talk about how not to procrastinate and what you should do tonight before you go to bed is put your phone down or not. Good time. Good to have you there in the comments. I see you there this morning. Oh, Good Times got the Halloween pumpkin in here. Hey, you guys ready for Halloween? Flynn, you got kids? You ready for Halloween? Oh, you're muted.
No sound. There we go.
That's because I have a wonderful little chicken right beside me here. He's thick.
Oh, there you go. There we go. Yes.
No, I'm not ready. I'm not ready at all.
Why would you be ready?
My son is going to be Elsa from Frozen.
Nice.
And I have an older kid's actual costume for him. I don't have a younger kid. So I have to jerry rig something together to make it work.
There.
That's what moms do. Moms are good at jerry rigging.
Moms are good at jerry rigging. Yes.
You'll figure it out.
That's it. Hey, Marty, Johnny, do you guys got any like Halloween kind of things going on? Or is it just, you're all, Johnny, I know you're past that, you got young kids, you're a grandpa, but any Halloween stuff in your purview, Johnny?
Literally, we're traveling back from our house here in Mexico and Baja tomorrow. We have one on Halloween. It was basically our day to repack and get down to LA for some more stuff. Basically, Halloween is going to be one of those days where I'm going to turn off the lights and keep us that way. We don't have to worry about people knocking on the door because we're going to be busy getting ourselves ready. And then I'm sure that I'm going to make sure that Terry lives extra long, and I don't want to have distractions of trick-or-treaters when I'm getting down.
That's right. Exactly. Yes. She can maybe she get an extra a couple extra days of life if you can take care of Halloween a little extra. Marty, I don't know about you, buddy. Do you got Halloween actions going on? Do you party? What happens for Halloween for you? Anything?
Just got my loop, Keith. We're just staying in the loop. You know, Halloween's one of those holidays. Yes, it's not bringing a lot of substance to my life, so I just stay in the loop, baby. Rock and roll.
That's right. Good time. Leave some kids. There's a big chocolate bowl upstairs there, and so I look at Halloween as National Peanut Butter and Chocolate Day. It's just the best day to stick those best two ingredients
just
together.
Say you want the Reese's Pieces, brother. Just say you want the Reese's.
Well, listen, ever since I've met you guys, I make good choices for the most part every single day. And I know this prop is getting good, Johnny, but I have no desire to eat it. I have no desire to eat it anymore. Zero.
But you know what I will say on Halloween, because I was a fat little sucker. I used to get up, dressed up in a costume, go hit the neighborhood, go home, switch the costume, go again. I sometimes hit it 3 times to get as much candy as I could. So now as an adult, when I started handing out the candy, I gave so much candy. Sometimes I'd have the full-size bars, or they would take 1 or 2 pieces. I'd grab a handful and drop it in. So I was the guy that gave the word on the street was the big dude is giving out all the candy. Because I wanted to be the guy that was giving out a lot, because I used to love the guy who gave me a lot.
Yes. Yeah. Or the big bars, right? Oh, that guy gives the big bars.
Full size, the real bar, the regular, the one you get in the grocery store, not the little son of a bitch. Don't tease me with that thing. Give me the real deal.
Yes. Hey, if you're tuning in right now to Mornings Live with Keith and Friends, I invite you to subscribe to the channel, like the channel, share it with your friends. Tell your friends you've discovered this morning show for men. We created this morning show for men to help you guys be accountable to your biggest goals. And this morning we're talking about procrastinating. And before we continue on with In the Gym with Jon and Marty, who are going to talk about the top 5 gym excuses and how to crush them and give you guys some exercises to get you guys going and get yourself out of bed this morning. I got something I want to throw on the table here, guys. A CEO's guide to do lists. How to organize and prioritize tasks. We're talking about procrastination today. There's guys getting out of bed this morning. There's women getting out of bed. There's humans getting out of bed going, okay, I got to get going here today. And I'm feeling overwhelmed. I got this massive list of things to do, and I don't know where to start. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to procrastinate. Right? This is what often we do, right? We look at this big list, and the easiest thing to do is often not do anything about it. So, gentlemen, I'm going to invite you to consider some of the things I say, which might just maybe encourage you to do something about your big list today. Number 1, Jon, Marty, Christina, determine the highest and best use of your time. And I'll add to that, add the non-negotiables to that. What's just the ultimate best use out of your time today that's going to make you feel extremely rewarded, and you get it done, and if you did nothing for the rest of the day, you feel accomplished? That's a hard thing for many of us to do, because often I think we think that there's 10 or 20 or 30 things to do, when in reality, it's probably just 1. Johnny, comment on that.
Man, that is such a doozy right there, because here's the thing. There's this thing called productive procrastination, which is where you're doing shit, but you're not doing the shit that moves the needle forward.
Yes.
So what you got to do is you got to determine what it is, usually there's a couple things in your day that need to be done that will literally propel the process forward. Because there's probably another 15 or 20 that you can do, and you're busy, but it doesn't make a difference in the progression of what you're doing. So it's really, don't get caught in this. And I sometimes catch myself doing it. I get so mad at myself because like I have a list and the top 1 or 2 is what I need to be doing. The other things could carry forward. It doesn't matter. But I find myself working down at like number 6 or 7. I'm like, dude, you pussy. Get up on the shit at the top that's difficult, because the stuff that's difficult is what you going to get you ahead.
Yes.
So be careful with productive procrastination.
Yes.
Tina, I see you nodding there. As we've gotten to know each other, I see you nodding there because I know you really much lean into this topic, Tina.
Yeah, because I'm shit at it. That's why I lean into it. It's something
You're going to say that.
Love the honesty there, Christina. That's powerful.
Listen, I am really good at doing a lot of things, and things that are adjacent to what I should be doing. So it gives the perception that I am doing the right thing. It gives the perception that I'm on the right road. But when you take a scale back and when you go, okay, is this actually the right thing to be doing? It's not. It just feels really good at that moment. So that's why I lean in. I'm shit.
Yes.
But I'm getting much better. I will say that.
You are. Yeah. So here's something else for you gentlemen to think about. And this is going to be a hard one. And this is a real hard one for us entrepreneurs, leaders, visionaries to do, which is to delegate list. Give something to somebody else to do. More importantly, what's even harder is to pause, hire a human, pause even more, train them, pause even again, empower them, and then pause again and support them. So my point is that often we're like, I'll just fucking do it myself. No, don't. Pause, find somebody, delegate, train them, and then watch yourself get back to the important things on your list. That is a hard thing for leaders, entrepreneurs to do because we just want to do it ourselves. And I struggle with that myself.
I just went through that yesterday. Literally, I just brought someone new on, and obviously I needed him to do some stuff that I didn't want to waste. I don't want to say waste, but it would have been a waste of my time because it was way down the list.
Yes.
And basically I brought him on, trained him up, and I realized, okay, this training is going to, every week or two, I'm going to have another small meeting to get him up to speed. But that little bit of training that I have to keep giving him saves me so much time because I'm not doing this task myself. So I love what you said, brother. You know, that the fact that there's a couple of steps to this. You can't just hire someone and expect they're going to get done what you want, the way you want it to be done. You got to take accountability, making sure they understand your vision and what they're supposed to do. And more importantly, give them a system to follow, because if you give them a system and there's a breakdown, it's not their fault, it's the systems. And then they don't feel like they've failed. They feel like they've got to report to you that the system's not working. We need to alter the system. And it makes it a really, I guess you'd say, fluid work relationship.
Yes.
It's a hard thing to do, gentlemen. I know right now you're getting your day going and you're like, I'm just going to go do it myself because I don't want to pause and find somebody. I got to write the job description. I got to post the job description. I got to go and interview a bunch of people. I got to go make a decision. I got to go then train them. It's going to take me 3 or 4 months by the time I see results. You guys know where I'm coming from because you've all been there. I've been there too. No, I'm telling you, stop. Don't procrastinate on what's most important. And it's funny because I had this conversation with Christina last week. We were in between meetings and I said, boom. Within 7 minutes, I sat down with ChatGPT. I said I needed a job description. It was boom, job was posted. Later that day, I had people I was hiring. But I had to be aware and not procrastinate on it because it's easier not to do. And then the last one, guys, the last one here, and we talk about this often, just about training in the gym, and myself, John, Marty, talk about it all the time, is that regardless of what you're going to do, is you got to find what works best for you and you got to stick to it. The hardest part is the last part that I just said, sticking to it. Right. Often, you know what? It's funny, guys, because when I was instilling Salesforce into ICUC back when I was starting the company, there was this question always about, is it right or is it wrong? I said, it doesn't matter. Just be consistent. Just pick one way and do it. It's the same thing when you go to the gym and you get in a treadmill and someone's like, are the metrics correct? It doesn't really matter. They're numbers and they're variables that even if they're inconsistently wrong, there's still a measurement that is showing you consistently you can stick to. Find something that works for you and stick to it. There's your advice to get you guys going today to not procrastinate. Number one is determine the highest and best use of your time. Number 2 is keep that to delegate list. Don't be afraid of it. Embrace it. And then number 3 is find what works best for you and stick to it. Because if you stick to it, that's where you're going to have that success. All right, guys. Let's keep the conversation going. Let's move to In the Gym segment with Jon and Marty. And guys, there's procrastination just doesn't kill the day. It kills the gains. And the worst part, those excuses always sound legit until you realize they're just total BS. Let's run through, boys, the top 5 excuses. Marty, I gave you some things to throw at Johnny here right now. So top 5 excuses people throw around to dodge workouts and what it takes to crush them. Christina and I are going to step off stage and leave this up to you guys. We'll be back in a number of minutes, but let's get into the gym segment with Jon and Marty. Jimmy, get me out of here, brother.
Let's do it.
All right, baby. Jon. What do we got?
So like Keith said, we got the top 5 procrastination/gym excuses. All right. The first one. You ready?
Come on.
I'll go later today.
Oh, God damn it. Here's the thing. It's the whole, once you use the word later, it doesn't make it what comes after that, because now you've taken the top off this whole thing. Whether you're saying later today, I'm going to do it later tomorrow, you just got to remove later. That's like the gateway to this whole thing.
It is the gateway.
Here's the thing. Once you realize how good it feels to stop using this language and start to actually be productive, it makes it pretty easy to continue. It's just that first step. And then I think what also really makes it tough for people is now we live in this world where everybody says, I'm going to do it later. Everybody has an excuse, and excuses are so accepted. In my world, if someone makes an excuse, man, I'm fucking getting out of here. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take the time to say, what are you talking? I don't want to invest my time in trying to point out that person's making an excuse. I just want to get out of there, because that shit is like pollution to the mind. And so I think that one of the big problems is that the people around, everybody surrounds themselves with excuse makers and procrastinators. So it becomes so normal, they don't see the difference. So be careful who you surround yourself with. You surround yourself with people that are getting it done, you're going to start getting it done.
And I want to add one thing. You got to get out that mindset of you're going to work out if your day allows it. If you have the perfect schedule, now I'm going to work out. No, that's not how it works.
There's never a perfect schedule. Yeah, there's never. And the thing about it, we say 100 times, if you got 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it doesn't matter, because you're showing up. You need to establish the habit of showing up. Let's just say everything went to hell in a handbag at work. Go in the fucking break room and do a handful of push-ups and squats because you checked your box. Whatever you got to do. Go for a walk. Do something because you check your box. Make a habit of checking your box.
Exactly. Non-negotiables. All right.
Yes.
We got number 2, Jon. I know you're going to rip this one apart. So am I.
Let's go.
I don't have time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. When it comes down to it, you don't have time because you don't want to have time. You don't have enough interest in what we're talking about. Because here's the deal. If you have interest in going to the movies, guess what? You're going to find time to go to the movies because you have an interest. This is an interest-based problem. If you're not interested in investing your time in something, you're going to tell yourself you don't have time because there's no interest. So you've got to get down to the root. It goes to the why. If it's why, here's the thing. Why wait? Because what happens with most people is the pain or the discomfort of reality finally becomes greater than the pain or the discomfort of change. And many times that comes from some sort of a fucking tragic event. Why wait for a death in the family? Why wait for a fucking car crash? Why wait for something that shocks you into taking a step forward? Make the choice to do it. You can. That's my message is why wait? It's that simple.
Absolutely, man. Said, and I say this. You can't say you don't have time for the gym when it all comes down to priorities. First of all, you can't say you don't have time for the gym. When you really take an inventory and look at your time, you're going to see how much you bullshit, right? You're at the movies. You're entertaining, for my single people, entertaining different men and women, right? You watch the football game, you watch the basketball game, you went on vacation, you did all of this stuff, but you can't give yourself 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45, an hour. That is less than 1% or less than 1% of your day. If it's a priority, you're going to get it done.
That's good, brother. You know what? And you said single people. You know what? The first date Terry and I went on.
What was that?
Fucking training. We trained. That's our first date.
That's what I'm talking about, man. That's what I'm talking about, man.
I mean, because listen, I got to drive this car before I pay for it and take it off the lot. So let's go do what we do in normal life. I want to understand, it came down to it. It was like, hey, if we're going to be compatible, you got to know what I'm all about. Yep. And agreed. I'm not going to, so it's just simple. Take some of this stuff and cross-pollinate them.
Yep. All right. We got it. And I could go on that one forever, but we don't have all day.
Yeah, I almost got on a tangent on that one. I brought it back real quick.
had to keep it brief, man. I need to feel motivated first. How about that one?
All right, man. Listen, motivation, we all get it and we all lose it. Motivation you can't sit there and say, I'm not motivated, because here's the deal. Motivation comes after discipline. What you need is discipline. Discipline is doing the shit you don't want to do. You need to do when you don't want to do it. And once you actually do that just a little bit, you're going to see some progress. And then guess what's going to pop up in your face? Motivation. You get motivation for progress. You get motivation from doing something that makes you feel good. You overcome adversity. God, I want to do that again. That's motivating. You don't just, if you're going to social media to get motivated, what you need to be doing is spending that effort on creating some discipline. And how do you do it? Let's give a quick takeaway on that one. Just honor the promises you make to yourself and make them little. Okay, tomorrow morning, when I get up, first thing I'm going to do is drink a glass of water. Boom. First, easy win. You honored the word to yourself. You start small. Next thing, you understand how good it feels to honor the word to yourself, and you've created the discipline you need to do the shit you need to do when you don't want to. Motivation will surround you when you have discipline. And it's really, it's not so slippery. It's not so flighty when it's created from your discipline.
I'll say this too. Feeling motivated is lucky. And I always say that I get up in the morning like fired up and looking forward to the day. But at the same time, I know it's a lot of shit that I don't want to do, that I'm not motivated to do, but I know it has to get done. So if I do wake up and feel like, oh, I can't wait to do X, Y, Z, I can't wait to hit leg day, then that's just lucky. So if you do feel motivated, in my opinion, then you just got lucky. You're not going to be lucky every freaking day. So you got to get that out of your head.
And brother, that's so good, because when it comes down to it, when we wake up, sometimes we don't want to do the shit that we need to do. And I just remind myself how good I'm going to feel when I get it done. And that's motivating, because I can literally feel how I'm going to feel when I check those boxes. Yep. I can feel how good how good the day is going to be when I have that feeling. So all you got to do is just take a quick trip into the future, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and think, man, I did it. I feel good. Chase that feeling. It makes it so easy when you're chasing an emotion.
Yep. All right. You're going to love this one, Johnny. I need the perfect plan.
Oh, Christ. There's no such thing. There's no such thing as perfect, man. Those people that are perfection is one of those things that causes people more progress. You could what's the saying? It's paralysis by analysis. You could sit there and plan for perfection until the rest of your life, and all of a sudden you never took the first step. I would rather take the first step, even if it might be the wrong direction, because I know if I'm moving, I'll find my course. But when it comes down to it, I don't need a perfect plan. I just need to know what I want to achieve. Shit, man, just like Keith says in the show, man, we're building this airplane as we go. If we sat here and we try to build this thing perfectly to get the bird off the ground, Christ, we wouldn't be here right now. And look at the progress we've made, because we said, hey, take a deep breath, put on your seatbelt, let's go, everybody. Hold on tight. And just remember, perfection doesn't exist. It's just the dumb shit that procrastinators tell themselves they ain't got to do anything.
Yep. And I'll say this too, man. There's no such thing as a perfect plan. You're gonna have everyone with different philosophies. You're gonna have the Jon Anderson philosophy. You're gonna have the C. Marty philosophy. You might have the Jared Gleaton philosophy, who was here a couple weeks ago. Everybody's gonna be different. So you got to do what works for you and just fucking get it done. And just fucking show up and get it done.
And on that level, just take bites from people. Might say, God, what Marty talked about really resonated with me on some little thing. Then all of a sudden they're listening to Keith. God, what Keith said, that really just take all these little pieces of everyone else and fit them together for your plan. Now, remember, that plan's going to keep changing, and that's what makes it so fun, because it's like a game that you never ever quite get finished with, but you love to play the game because it feels so good when you're making progress.
Yep.
It's interesting, Jon and Marty. We're hanging out in the gym with Jon and Marty here. The segment here we drop every single day here, Mornings in Line with Keith and Friends. It's interesting to hear you guys speak, and I think of myself as I read fitness magazines as I've grown up in life, and you're always looking for that hack. You're always looking for that trick. You're always looking for that shortcut. But, you know, what I hear day in and day out from you guys is it's got to take the first step. And I know that's cliche, but from us, and you just said it, Johnny, hopefully something along somebody's journey makes somebody stick and act. That's really what it's all about, isn't it? Because we're not telling anybody anything new. What we're hoping is that something that Marty says or Jon says or I say or Adam or AJ or Christina makes you go, okay, light goes on, boom, now I got to act.
Yep.
That's really what it is, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like you could hear the same story get told by three different people, and one of the stories makes perfect sense and the other ones don't quite resonate.
Yeah, Marty.
Yeah, I was going to say too, a lot of times it's not going to click on the first time you hear it. Mm-hmm. It might not click till number 11. So sometimes you got to hear stuff over and over again. And I'm sure Johnny knows as a coach too, I find myself, I might get not irritated, but I find myself being repetitive with clients, but I got to remind myself, you have to be. You got to keep saying it over and over again because it's still going to be new information, even on the 10th time sometimes.
But on that level, bro, that's probably why coaching feels so fucking good to me, because I love to repeat myself. With my OCD, repetition feels good. My little girls would say, Daddy, you've told us that so many times. No shit. Because hopefully this is going to stick in your subconscious when you get older. So that's why, again, my shortcomings were my blessings, because repetition feels so good. My whole life is repetition, and coaching is repetition, and it feels good. So I even tell my clients, look, you're going to hear me say shit a lot, because I want to know that at the end of the day, I told you too much than not enough.
You know what's powerful about that, Marty, is that when you hear Jon say that, and as we've gotten to know Jon, is that you can tell that's his belief. Yep. Like it's just, this is a belief inside of my system, and I'm going to tell this to you a million times because that's just what I believe. And it's hard to argue. It's exactly right. So it's hard to argue with somebody with such powerful beliefs. And of course, Good Time, always a big supporter of the show, saying, don't forget to smash and subscribe that button. And what I love about this is Good Time showed up on the show a number of weeks ago, 8 to be exact, and says, walking guys, thanks for the show. And so listen, to somebody tuning in day and day out, you might think, oh, this is boring, repeating yourself. No, but accountability is boring. Yeah. Oh yeah. Consistency is boring. So it's finding fun within the boring. It's finding fun within the accountability. And it's interesting, Johnny, I have dogs, you have dogs. That's what I love about my dogs. My dogs provide color to life. Those little innocuous moments where a dog does something ridiculous or goofy, and you're like, okay, life's not that boring right now because I got this wonderful little dog in my life.
Yeah. Check this out. You know what you said a minute ago is really powerful. It said accountability can be boring. The stuff we talk about can be, but here's the thing. When you do it long enough and you separate yourself from the masses, all of a sudden then it becomes really fucking sexy. People look at that and go, oh my God, look at that guy. But you got to have the nuts to get there. You got to separate yourself from the people who do it for a little while, then take a break.
Yes.
Do it for a little while, and I'll start up again after the holidays.
Yes.
There's no fucking holidays.
And you know what's
right here?
and I want to lean into what Johnny just said, because Marty talks about it often as well. Yes, we are all about longevity. Yes, we're all about helping you men live a long life for your grandchildren and walking and trekking and doing what you want to do with your kids. But the reality is this, and Marty talks about it often. When you go to the gym and you eat well and you feel good about yourself, you don't got to worry about buying some ridiculous big budget suit. Go buy yourself a nice pair of pants. Go put a nice t-shirt on, because you know what you're showing off, brother? You're showing off all your hard work, your physique. And I know we're not supposed to talk too much about aesthetics, but the reality is you feel good about yourself. You look in the mirror, and aesthetics are part of life. You look in the mirror, your waist is a little smaller, your shoulders a little out, your t-shirt fits well. You put your suit jacket on, gentlemen. Marty, how you going to feel, brother?
Like $1 million, $50 million. But
true,
well,
no, you're right, Marty.
And I want to add to that too. People see that.
Yes.
And you're gonna have haters too. But don't sit here and think that people don't know that you're one of the best looking in the building or one of the best looking in the room. Men and women, everyone's gonna see it.
And again, when Marty's talking about best looking, what they're seeing is they're seeing the work you're putting in. They're seeing that you're making the right choices. They're seeing that, okay, this person must be getting out of bed to make the right choices, which is why they're, able to fill out their suit and why they're able to walk into the room confidently. So I want to balance longevity over aesthetics. They're both important, but people are going to see the work you're putting in, and it's not going to be caught up in the $10,000 Tom Ford suit. No, a guy's got a nice t-shirt on. He looks like he's putting the work in. Johnny.
Yeah, it's when it comes down to it. It's, again, I think people just need to realize that if you want to find an excuse to not buy into what we're talking about, there's plenty of them. Yes. But at some point, you're going to realize, you know what? I think I want a little more for myself. And my message has always been, why wait for that tragedy in your life to actually have you make that first step? Why wait for the death in the family? Why wait for the car crash? Why wait for the doctor to tell you if you don't get your fat ass in gear, you're going to have a heart attack? Don't wait for the tragedy to make a change. Because like I said before, when Marty and I were talking, that at some point, the pain and the discomfort of your reality is going to come greater than the pain and discomfort of making a change. Why wait for that to happen?
Yes. And as Marty said, you got a choice right now. You can either get up and get moving and get fit, or you can sit around and do nothing and probably get fat. And you know what? There's two F words there, and you can really choose which vowel you want to put in the middle of the T. Either the I or the A. That's your choice, frankly.
Yep.
One thing too, as we're coming into the holidays, obviously November, we got Thanksgiving, here's the thing. People say, after the holidays, here's the deal. You can start what you're doing, you can continue what you're doing, and you can enjoy the holidays sensibly. I have all of my clients enjoy their Thanksgiving meals, enjoy their Christmas parties. Just don't be a glutton and we're going to be fine. Thanksgiving means sit down and enjoy some amazing food with some amazing people. But let's recognize that Thanksgiving is about the people, not the food. And somehow we've got that twisted up in our heads. You're eating to the point where you can't enjoy the people, your loved ones. What does that represent giving thanks?
And Johnny, what might happen is if somebody gets going today, as they approach Thanksgiving, they might start stacking some habits between now and Thanksgiving, that by the time they get to Thanksgiving, the day after Thanksgiving, they got a bunch of habits in place where maybe they do overeat. I don't know. Maybe they don't, but maybe they have some food where in the past they'd be struggling with, but they have these habits in place where they're going to get up the day after Thanksgiving, and what are they going to do? They're going to go to the gym, or they're going to start again. And that to me is the most powerful thing, right?
Yes.
Because if you don't instill those habits before you get to Thanksgiving, gentlemen, I've been there. You go there, you feed, you fool, you get up in the morning, you feel shitty about yourself.
Yep.
Start the habits now. Start the habits now. Marty, I see you leaning in on this.
Yeah, my bad, just responding a good time. But no, I'm right there with you. And we need to lean into this more as the holiday seasons go on.
Yeah, but I agree.
Just remember that the day isn't worth your goals or messing your goal up, because you're going to put yourself backwards. You're going to move backwards. You're moving in the backwards direction. You're going to consume too many calories, right? You're probably not going to feel like working out the next day. If you're drinking, you're probably going to be hungover. This is just going to set you back days. So just remember that as you go into the holidays.
Yes.
And remember what the holidays are about. The holidays are about spending time with loved ones. And how are you going to do that when you stuff yourself to the point where you got to go fucking lay down?
Yeah. No, he's right.
True story. True story. All right, let's bring Tina up on stage here. We'll wrap it up here. I know you guys got to rock and roll here. I'm going to get to community corner and then, of course, business and branding here. So let's quickly go around the table. We talked procrastination today. If anybody doesn't have any incentive to get going, then I'm telling you, I invite you to go change the channel. Go listen to somebody else because this is not the channel for you. Marty, what did you take from today's shows, brother? One thing?
First of all, man, you got to love Maya, man. You got to love Maya. She came in with energy. She was excited to be here.
Yes.
She did her best. It was her first show ever.
Yeah.
But she definitely brightened up the show. So we appreciate Maya for sure.
I love you, Marty. Yeah, 100%. I did not get a chance to throw the applause on because you brought so much energy, and I didn't know what button to press. But Marty's right, man. I appreciated you as well, Maya. So thanks for coming in here, Johnny. What about you, brother?
I like how, in Maya's segment, I like how the cell phone thing, of course, we turned it into a sex thing, but she turned it into, no, I had to get it out of the bedroom to help me get my butt out of bed. So I loved how she flipped the script on us real quick, man. I love that.
It was great. You're right. She turned it around really powerfully. Flynn, Coach, what did you take from today's show?
Yeah, it's got to be the same thing. I love seeing people do something for the first time that they're uncomfortable with, they're nervous by, they're potentially afraid of. And she came out here and she did it. And that's what we've talked about with this show, providing people with an opportunity that haven't had a chance to be on something like this with their shot. And I think she did a great job and she brought a lot of fun and energy.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, I enjoyed Maya as well. I thought her energy was fun. She bounded into the room with energy, and I was like, okay. That's why I was like, Maya, I had to interject there because I don't know if I didn't interject, your energy maybe just have gone for the whole 13 minutes. So I was like, hey, we gotta pull the energy. Hey, Marty,
right? I don't think we're ready.
English was not her first language either. Remember,
she was rocking it. She was just like a boom, boom, boom,
crunching.
It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. All right, quickly, boys. Marty, what do you got on the agenda today, pal?
We got leg day, man.
You, me both. Yeah.
Be ready for a report tomorrow. All right, Jon Anderson. All right.
I like it, baby. I like it.
Cool.
Get that stuff.
What do you got going on today there, Johnny?
Well, today is our last full day here at this house in Mexico. So we're going to basically go to the gym, have a great workout, and then button this house up because we won't be back here probably until February.
Oh, no kidding. No kidding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, you boys go have yourselves a great day. I appreciate the both of you. We'll look forward to reconnecting in the morning tomorrow, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Myself, John, Marty, Christina, Flynn. But right now, me and myself and Flynn, we head up. Me and myself. Yeah. Keith and Flynn and Jimmy. We work our way to the community corner, and we're going to get to business and branding. So, John, Marty, have yourselves a great day. And Patrick Montgomery, I see your comment. And boys, before you go, Patrick calls it out. You can't eat your feelings away because you know what happens when you eat your feelings away. The next morning you wake up, and how do you feel, Johnny? Marty, you feel like shit.
Terrible.
You do.
Yeah. I've tried that. It doesn't work. And I go hard when I try something. And it just that hole just gets deeper. You never ever get to the other side.
You know what? As we continue to move into the holidays, I know that John has battled this, and I think we want to talk more with John and Marty and battling John's mirror of the chubby fat kid on that side. Because I know, John, you've battled your challenges with food and sweets and sugar, and there's a lot of gentlemen.
Still do.
And so do I. So there's a lot of gentlemen that have those battles. We'll keep talking about them to help those guys move forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, let's have that talk. I got some stuff to say about that.
Awesome. We're going to bring it up. Cool. We'll do it. We're going to add a segment on, and I can go at it, how morning carbohydrates kill my day. If I open my carbohydrates in the morning, I'm fucked. Like, I'm done. I'm done.
About it.
Yeah. It's because mom was giving me the Kit Kat at 6 months, Marty.
Oh, man.
Have a good one.
All right.
Johnny.
See y'all tomorrow.
See you in the morning.
All right. Okay, Bilous and Flynn are hanging out here to wrap up the show here. We got the community corner, and today we're going to feature, that was a fun segment there, Flynn. It was a good show so far today. A lot of fun today. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah, beating procrastination, and we're going to feature a versatile founder, a coach. Jimmy, I'm looking at the right camera, I think, right? Yeah, thanks, brother. A versatile founder and a coach. This creator has built a unique career across design, strategy, and email marketing, and now helps others unlock their full potential by building personal brands that reflect their true selves. I got to tell you, Flynn, when I go through these shows, my dopamine hits just go through the roof. That by the time like the 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock Eastern time comes, I'm just like, it's crazy actually. Anyways, going back to the creator. This creator is a thoughtful personal brand builder with curiosity and empathy. Oh, I love the last one. This creator empowers overlooked and underutilized individuals to tap into all aspects of their identity and stand out as a one-to-one. This creator is a guide for thought leaders through his work as a coachaltant. Oh, I haven't heard that before. And this creator also helps individuals build personal brands that align with their skills and values, unlocking both personal fulfillment and professional growth. So today's Creator Spotlight for Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends. This little spotlight we'd like to do with humans over on the platform. And today we're celebrating this gentleman. His name is Daniel Branneman.
Hey.
Daniel. Yes, look at that profile of Daniel Branneman here. Let's bring him up on screen there. Man, I love the exuberance in the picture from Daniel Branneman. Daniel is a coachaltant to uncover thought leaders building remarkably unique personal brands and businesses with empathy and care, always doing the daddest things. Very cool. Daniel is from Charlotte, North Carolina, and he is a personal branding dude. Christina, Flynn, why are we celebrating Daniel Branneman today?
Oh, you said it there. Like he has this energy in his profile, which
Yes.
given what he works on and what he does of trying to help people find what's unique about them and build a brand around it, that's exactly what you want to see from someone. You want to see someone that's gotten to their authentic self, because those are the only people that are going to be able to help you do the same. And what really stood out for me as I've been following along his journey is his use of video, quite frankly, on LinkedIn. He's been really able to benefit. He's got really great short snippets for people to be able to say, listen, this is what I know. This is what's worked for me. And I want you to be able to do the same thing. And I think he just shows up, unless he's putting on a real good fucking act. It doesn't feel like it. He shows up as himself. You can see it on all the thumbnails of those videos. He's just being him. And that's really refreshing on this platform in particular. And it's really refreshing given that's what he's trying to help other people do. So I've just got a lot of respect for the way that he's approaching growth.
Daniel Branneman, we are celebrating you. Mornings in the Lab with Keith and Friends on the Creator Spotlight. I can see the energy as well, Christina. You look at these thumbnails and there's nothing but energy coming out of Daniel. I think you're muted there, Tina. We're going to bring, so there we go, Daniel. Celebrating you, my friend. All right. Okay, so we're going to continue here. Woo. Exactly. I need to pivot myself. There we go. Okay. Flynn, we are going to move to the business and branding segment on the show. And Jimmy, I know I got to look at this camera over here. And we're going to talk about how to stop treating, we're going to stop about how to stop treating procrastination like a minor issue and call it what it really is. It's poison for your brand. Yep. You're getting your day started. You're getting your business started. Tina, let's lean into today to wrap the show up. The top 5 excuses people lean on. And actually, I think even Maya might have talked about one of them. But let's hit the top 5 excuses people lean on when they drag their feet building their brand and how to crush them. Let's get to number 1. And I love this one. Excuse number 1 is why people aren't having any progress. I'll post when I have something perfect to say.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
No,
because you're never going to have something perfect to say. And perfection doesn't exist in this game very much, especially when you're talking about building a personal brand. And what I've learned from working with so many different people is that perfect idea of what you have to say, you can't even see it because it's not what you think is perfect. It's what your audience thinks is perfect. And in order to be able to determine what your audience needs from you or what perfection is to them, then you need to actually post and you need to get out there and you need to be experimenting with content to see what resonates, because otherwise we talk about it all the time. It's like the creator's dichotomy, the shit that you spend 4 hours on to create the most beautiful post that you think you genuinely believe is really going to nail it when it goes out gets 3 likes, 3 engagements. The shit that you just go off the cuff and you say it and you send it always gets way more engagement. Because you're not overthinking, you're not waiting for perfection, you're just doing, and people are responding to like the natural ability to just say, this is what I feel. And this is what I got to say.
So then is it quantity over quality or quality over quantity? Somebody who's back going, I got to make this perfect post. What you're saying is that just get it done and get it out.
And I've really struggled with this. I struggle with this with my own brand because we know the importance, and I knew the importance of figuring out what I was going to say, what I was going to be known for. But what I realized is that doesn't come. Like you can have, I want you to start with a thesis. I want you to say, I think people are going to respond to this part of me. I think people really need this because they have a problem and I think I can provide that solution, and start with that thesis, but then experiment relentlessly. Get out content, write. Writing is where you're going to come upon a lot of personal growth. And over time, you're going to start creating these connections, but those connections really come with reps. I'm not saying to send literally anything out, but I would rather have my clients send anything out than waiting for the perfect post and sending that out once a week. It's never going to work.
I love your excuse number 2 you have written down here, Christina. I'm too busy. I'm too busy to work on my brand. Christina, the response is?
You haven't sorted out that your brand is the most important part of your business.
Yeah.
Everything that you're doing, anything you're trying to sell, is going to come back to you and people connecting with you and the trust they have in your ability to deliver your skills and your viewpoint and your expertise based on your unique offering. If they don't connect with you, it's never going to happen.
So something's happened here in society in the last number of years with this personal branding stuff. So in the past, I want to just think this out loud with you.
Yeah.
In the past, we worked as human beings. We collected a bunch of experience, and then around that experience, society and work culture wanted that experience put onto a resume or CV. And that's how we articulated ourselves to society. A piece of paper, Christina lists her experience on. In many ways, it's the old school, the front of your LinkedIn portfolio. Here's your experience. That's what you've done. But that shift now, though, is that people are expecting so much more, right, Christina? Right? It's not so much as working, accumulating a list of experience. The shift now is as you're working and building that experience, there's the personal brand idea, Christina, is about that expectation that you're sharing that experience along the way, right? So that when you're looking to shift in your life, that experience moves you through that shift. Am I correct? Because yesterday it was like, okay, I'm going to work, build all my experience. Then when it comes to go and get a new job, I'm going to go open up my resume and accumulate all that experience. And then I'm going to go and find a new job. But what you're now saying with today's personal brand, and back to the point, which is I'm too busy to work on my brand, what you're actually saying was, no, Keith, as you're working, you should be selling yourself and telling the world about your current experience so that when you're ready to make a pitch, when you're ready to make that pivot in the future, it just happens naturally. That's the change with personal branding. Am I correct?
It just makes things easier. And you know what it helps you to do? It helps you to define what has all this experience done for you as well. It's not just about your current employer, because sometimes it can be your current employer and then you go into the job hunt and then you just jump right into the next thing. I work with a lot of clients that have just left a job or career transitioning, maybe because they've been laid off, maybe because they got out of mat leave and they didn't want to go back. But if you're presented with this opportunity, it's so easy to be like, these are the skills that I have. And this resume defines what these skills are. And forget about the fact, do you even like those skills? Do you even enjoy that work? Maybe you're the best at it, but do you actually like it? Is that how you want to spend your time in your day? And I'm not talking about blowing the whole thing up, but I'm talking about doing something over time that helps you to define, where do I want to focus my efforts? It may not be in the very next job, but it may be in the job following that. And that's the challenge with, I think, personal brand, is that it is a long tail thing. It's not going to happen overnight. And trust me, I have to sell people on doing this work. That's a hard sell to say, this is going to take time. It's going to take months. But I promise you, if you put in the time and if you put in the effort and the energy and commit to growing and growing through the fear and the worries that you have about the judgment, it will benefit you.
And I think that what you're talking about is, I'm going to jump to excuse 4 here before I come back to number 3, but to build your personal brand, you're going to be doing it on social media. So an often excuse is social media can wait. If you're waiting for social media, then you're also waiting on building your personal brand. You're also waiting on showing the world what you're all about. And listen, for somebody right now, maybe like that's not for me. That's fair.
Totally fine.
But in your journey of life, when you wake up, and I've been there, nation, men, I've been there. You wake up and okay, I need to make a pivot, and you have nothing there to pivot to. That's why I've spent the last year of my life recreating myself with this, my brand again, with Live in the Lab and Mornings in the Lab and this talk show type experience, because I lost my whole personal brand when I went as a ghost 8-10 years ago. Social media can't wait if your personal brand is important to you. The excuse that social media can wait, Christina, answer that one.
Let's dig into this further. You stepped away, and then for the last year, you have spent time building your brand. That's a very technical, practical approach to it. Tell me the most surprising thing that you've learned in the last year about building your brand.
The most surprising thing the most surprising thing is how much scammers are out there. But all that aside, and I knew that, but until you really get into, there's a lot of fucking fakery out here. Again, the most surprising thing for me has been a refreshing thing, actually. And this is what I hope will be encouraging to everybody. What hasn't been surprising but has been refreshing is how open people are to realness. People want to see realness. It's it doesn't have to be perfect. No. Look at Maya was excited about coming to the show, stressed, never been on a show before, and it doesn't have to be perfect. Just show up and have some fun.
Sorry to interrupt. Would you say that a year ago before you started, you knew what the real Keith was?
I don't know what you mean by that. Cause listen, I've known who the real Keith is for a number of years. I think Keith has gone through a rebuilding process listen, my identity forever has been linked to my past career. So at ICUC, so coming out of that has been a challenge for me. It's been a challenge and it's taken me some time to get past that. You start this baby, you create it, you sell it, and then it's no longer yours. So that, and then my brand was attached to that. But I don't know if it was so much who I am. Who am I now? I'm proud of who I am now. Who as I was yesterday, there's periods I was proud of that as well. But it's just part of our journey. I don't know. I've thoroughly enjoyed the last year of myself, of rebuilding my brand, coming back and rebuilding my network and meeting a bunch of great humans through my journey. Again, what's been most refreshing for me is how open people are to reality and embracing imperfection.
And I think to me, that's the point. What I see with so many of my clients is that when they're asked to come out and build their brand, they're hesitant because they don't know who they are when they're not attached to that career, when they're not attached to that job, they don't know who they are. They don't know what their identity is outside of the work that they've done. So when they go to build the brand, that's really jarring to say, am I just a lawyer? But I didn't want to be a lawyer anymore. So I got away from law. But now what the fuck do I want to be about? And what do I believe? And what do I care about? And what are the things that I have to say? And on top of that, we can't even see our own accomplishments. We can't see how great the things we've done in the past are and what are the lessons that have guided us throughout that journey. So to be able to tell someone, hey, come out and talk about that stuff, they have no idea where to start.
Yes.
Did you know where to start?
No, it was scary, right? I stepped my foot back into the LinkedIn water and just started observing and playing and observing and playing and just trying, right? And walking towards failure.
You had a thesis. You had a belief.
I did. I had a strong belief. It was, and then I'll go to your point number 3 on excuses why people don't get started. I'll launch after. I just started. When I got into this game of building a YouTube channel, a LinkedIn presence, a personal brand here, I just began. I had a fellow on the other side of the camera here a year and a half ago, and I was like, okay, what are we doing? I'm like, boom, let's do this. A lunchtime show, live, yada, yada, yada. We built it up. But I did not wait for number 2, which is the excuses. I'll launch after. Now, I'm the believer of let's just launch and then figure it out. Because I think humans, for the most part, Christina, and I think here's a positive rant for me. I think humans, for the most part, are most forgiving. But I think on the opposite side, we as OCD folks, we as entrepreneurs want perfection, when in reality, humans are very forgiving. They're like, oh, you've tried. It's not perfect, but you're trying. And yeah, I'm working even really hard to make it better for you. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
But yet we as humans often go, I'm going to launch until I get this thing fixed and then I'll launch it next week, or I'll wait for 3 weeks. It's just, we never launch. Lean into that excuse.
We think what we've come up with in that moment, there's a lot of emotion around it. It's taken a lot of time to get there. So we believe that's the answer. Whereas you and I both know where you go and where you end up versus where you started is nowhere near the same thing. So
True.
That's the benefit of the just starting, is saying and having the humility to say, this is an idea. This is what I think. This is my thesis. But I know if history proves itself, where I start with this idea and where I end with this idea are not going to be the same thing. So I have to give myself the reps. I have to give myself the consistency to say, let's see where this goes. Let's test it. Let's experiment and be open to the shifts and changes that are going to come along the way. There's risk in that, of course. And I know that just start is a privileged perspective, quite frankly, because a lot of people have been taught to not just start. A lot of people have been taught they have to be perfect. They have to work 10 times harder than everyone else. And they have one shot. And if you fuck up that one shot, you're never going to get it again. So I get that. I get that it's not just start. It's much more complicated than that. But maybe a different way to look at it is just start someplace.
Mm-hmm.
Just pick a thing. Have a thesis. Treat it as an experiment. Give that experiment time and market. Don't fucking post 3 times and tell me it's not working. The amount of times I have to have that conversation with people, but give it time.
Yes.
2 weeks, 3 weeks, do that thing. Use the data, have that data inform your next step, plug it in and try it again.
Yes.
And then the last excuse, guys, you're making is you're saying to yourselves, and I may have had a slight part of this as I was restarting. I'll network when I feel confident. No, you're never going to feel confident to network. Literally get into your DMs, go pick up the phone, go mail somebody, go to a offsite, an IRL event. But the reality is network, go talk to some folks. The best learning, actually, Christina, for me was starting a show, starting a podcast and connecting with human beings. And that was, if somebody wants to do ultimate networking, do this. If you want to build your network instantly, start a daily conversation with human beings. Stop having coffee in private. Start creating a show, create a podcast, create a show.
But I would never recommend anyone start here. And I'll tell you why. Because the amount of work and effort and energy that goes into the creation of this is a skill all in and of itself. If you have a business and this isn't your only business, which it's not even yours, you're just very skilled at this work and finding and outsourcing talent to be able to pull it all together. This is very hard. It's very easy to say, just go to your network, ask them to be on your show, come on a show, and then you launch it and it's awesome. Meanwhile, it's really fucking complicated to do that. And more likely than not, if you try it this way first, with the exception of you, Keith, because you're an interesting little thing. We know this.
So fair comment, but I would invite somebody to do, Christina, though, is okay. Instead of maybe having the coffee in private with somebody, set up a podcast with somebody, have the coffee, create the content, and then do it again.
Or
and then do it again. Or
if that's not comfortable, I like to say, pick a platform, pick a format.
Yes.
Do you like to write? Do you like to be on camera?
Yes.
Do you like audio? What is your way that you like to, and you feel most confident that you can show up that way more consistently? Next, you need to figure out what's the platform that aligns most with that format. And you need to go there and pick one platform first. Just start with that. So if you're not comfortable with the meeting and it being a podcast and the work that it requires around there, then cool. Take the meeting and then write about the lessons that you learned with that person and tag it. There's still a way to share those insights and still bring that to the world. Of course, ask permission for people. I know people are going to be like, I can't just do that shit without asking permission. But lean into what you like the most, even if it's the hardest for you, because that's what you're actually going to stick with. That's going to give you the greatest opportunity to stick with something.
Yes.
Nation, we're wrapping it up. Keith and Christina hanging out with business and branding. 5 excuses not to get something done today. We've given you every excuse you probably could consider as a business dude, as an entrepreneur starting your day. Marty and Jon talked about excuses you guys could consider getting into the gym and getting yourself going today. Listen, I know it's tough to get started. I know it's tough to get, it's easier to hit the snooze alarm. You heard AJ talk about how we're wired. If there's anything that you can do today, though, is just start moving your feet, create some momentum, and maybe that feet moving the momentum moves you towards unlocking that task in business. Maybe it helps you unlock a task in the gym. Maybe it helps you just move forward like Good Time, who keeps moving his feet week after week, and 5 minutes turns into 10 minutes, turns into 30 minutes, right? So we're going to keep talking about accountability on the show, how to help you guys overcome procrastination. And it's not easy, man. We all battle it. I know Johnny does, I do, Christina does, Marty, we all battle that idea of procrastination. It'll kill you. It's easier not to do something. So it's hard to do hard things. That's why it's not why everybody does it. But anyways, we're going to get out of here. We got some post-production to do. Christina's got a big day ahead of her. She's got some couple of sick children, I think, at home. So she's got to be a mom probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I'm thrilled.
So mom's got mom duty going on here, which, hey, listen, Nation, we know is ultimately the most important duty there is. Everything else we talked about at the end of the day is probably not as relevant as what Christina's working on. So Christina, all the props to you. All the props to you and the family. You having yourself an awesome one. Jimmy, let's get out of here. Felix, let's get out of here. Let's go do some post-production. Nation, we'll see you guys tomorrow, Wednesday mornings in the lab with Keith and Friends, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'm not wrapping us out of here. I'm doing this, though. See you guys later. Bye, Tina. Bye, Jimmy. See you guys.
Bye.